Hi, everybody. It's Laurie Watter, Director of Family Relations at All Points North Lodge. I'm going to be meeting today with Nicole Reeves. We're going to wait for her to come on. I think she's waving, but we want to get her to actually join. So we'll just give her a second to do that. See, Keith is there. And Nicole just has to hit the button that says join, and we'll get her on board with us. Nicole is out in Malibu, California. I am on the East Coast in New Jersey. So we'll see if we can't get her up and running as well. So this has been a very cool experience. I half dread Tuesdays at 2:15 Eastern Standard Time, because I am not one to kind of go live anywhere, but I'm getting used to it. Waiting to hook up. So it's actually kind of fun because I love talking to Nicole. So I feel like this is kind of like FaceTiming with her and with a whole audience. So just waiting for the connection, and Nicole will be right on. We've had some great interviews lately. I'm really enjoying the Instagram Live. Let's see if she's getting on board with us. Hi, Noah. So it's kind of fun. Like I'm starting to get used to seeing people's names come up and people waving and saying hi. And, we have such a great team over at All Points North. I have to say it's a real pleasure to be able to work with people that are constantly supporting each other. Really know that, your colleagues have your back and are doing their best to make each other look good and to work together as a team. And so lately, because of COVID, there's been so many, I'm sure everybody out there is experiencing it, but so much social media and so much Zoom and conference calls. And for me, it's such a great way to stay connected. Anybody that's worked with me knows that I really like to stay on top of the clients that I bring to a treatment program. And, so by social media and the conference and Zooming and staying connected that way, I feel like I have a really good sense of what's going on with the individuals that are actually going to treatment. And I do the same oversight with the referrants who send their clients. I think they can pretty much contact me at any time and know that I'll know what's going on with the individual that's in treatment, because the communication is so strong and so comprehensive. And I probably drive people crazy, but it definitely helps me to know what's going on with our clients. So, right now, of course, I'm in New Jersey. It happens to be a beautiful day. Finally, we're going to probably hit 62 degrees and sunshine today. And also in Colorado, we're finding that the weather has also been really beautiful. So people are getting outdoors more. We are still very cognizant of the restrictions with COVID, but our clients are hiking on the weekends. They're doing experiential work outdoors on Friday afternoons, which has been amazing. Everybody's a little bit ready to move around and get all of that energy out, people that have been there for so long. So I know there she is. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Good. How are you, Laurie?
I'm good. It's so nice to see you. So everybody, this is the new Nicole Reeves. She got married 45 days ago.
I did.
But
Yeah,
who's
45
counting?
days ago.
Nicole is the director of admissions at All Points North Lodge, and she's located in Malibu, California. And it's so, I so love working with you. So I'm so happy to do this interview with you today. I love seeing your face.
Yes, you as well, Laurie. It's very exciting when we get to collaborate on treatment for individuals that are really motivated. And I love how much you care about them. I think that's so obvious. So
Thank
yes,
you.
I love
So,
working with you too.
I went out to All Points North in December, like around December 12th, and Nicole was coming out at the same time. So we actually got to spend time out there together.
We
Nicole
did.
stayed a little bit longer. So I got to know you. But if you want to tell people, what your background is, I know that you have an extensive background in the admissions arena and you are a licensed clinician, licensed marriage and family therapist. So why don't you go ahead and tell them a little bit what you've done before All Points North?
Yeah, so before, even before getting into the administrative side of clinical work, I worked a lot with teens and their families going through dual diagnosis, mental health, and substance use. I worked very closely with what's called Star Court with children. It's called the commercially sexually exploited children, so children who are sex trafficked across the US. That were then trying to essentially testify against their perpetrators. So I worked for a couple years with them, and then I got into the administrative side. I was a clinical director at a nonprofit for men coming out of incarceration dealing with dual diagnosis. So it was a pretty large house of a bunch of men trying to reacclimate to society after being in prison for an X amount of years. After that, I started working as director of admissions at a smaller treatment facility in Malibu, which really I just fell in love with being part of hearing someone's story from the front end. It was like the perfect combination for me of both being administrative and helping with the client's overall treatment plan, but still getting that client contact that I love. I think I would miss working with clients a lot if I was just purely administrative. So this was like the perfect combination for me. And then I met Noah, gosh, back before APN was really what it is now. And I fell in love with just his vision, him as a person. It just felt like this is something that I would definitely want to be a part of. So when I had the opportunity to continue to do admissions at APN, at that point, I was working at an insurance company as the supervisor of a clinical team that oversaw services through the insurance provider that we worked for. And I was eager to jump at this opportunity. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been great. And I'm so excited to be part of just the APN Lodge family now. So
Yeah. And I have
yeah.
to say, I kind of fell in love with Noah as well. He is definitely a visionary, but he's got such a soft heart and a really sweet, sweet man. So,
Yeah.
and I think he creates that culture among his team and the people that work with him. So, yeah, I do feel really, really fortunate to be with everybody. It's a great team.
Yeah.
And then, so do you want to also just walk us through a little bit about what the admission process is like at All Points North? A lot of times people say to me, like, yeah, how could you be in New Jersey, but you work with a program in Colorado? And how is she in Malibu when she does admissions for a program that's in Colorado, and how that all works for people?
Yeah. So whenever someone calls in, they call into our contact center, and that person, our team, will be able to answer any questions that they have about treatment, specific to our program, to treatment in general. They'll kind of hammer out all of the more details of our availability, what they're looking for to gain from treatment, maybe what level of care. And oftentimes these are things that people don't always know when they're contacting us. So it's really, really helpful that we have individuals that are also able to help guide. It's our goal that everyone who needs treatment has access to it, whether it's through us or anyone else, which I really love. So yeah, so they call in, they have that initial contact. And then once they're looking to actually enter into treatment, whether it's at the residential level or a telehealth level, I have contact with all of our clients to do what's called the pre-admission assessment. And that's really used as their blueprint for treatment. It's going to ensure that we're able to meet whatever the client's specific needs are. Every individual is unique and special, and what their idea of what would be a successful stay in treatment looks different and special for each of them as well. So we really want to make sure that we're the right fit for them. So that's really what that process ensures through me speaking with them. And then it's also going to help us pair them best with whatever primary therapist is best suited for what they're presenting with. We're lucky enough to have a very extensive clinical team with a lot of just beautiful history in the field, and a really good understanding of specialties, not just like a general practice. So it's really exciting when I can hear on the phone, oh, this person's struggling with not just maybe an addiction to substances, but maybe an addiction to porn or to gambling, and to know that we can really treat that and treat it well in addition to the substance use is really, really exciting. So that's overall what that process really helps to ensure. Is that we're just meeting their specific needs. So
right. Thank you for that. And I would just add to that. So literally before this Instagram live, hi Kimberly. We were on a call together. We were actually just talking about that, on how we don't treat every individual the same, and that there aren't set rules across the board. That we really take pride in looking at the history and what the individual is struggling with and what has been working for them in the past. And rather than saying, no, we're going to take all of that away, because this is what this is what we say, this is our bottom line. We really look at each case and see what's going to work for that person, and how can we best meet their needs of what they're looking for, not just what we're looking for. So, that's, I would say that's a really key piece of the treatment, and such a pleasure to be able to work with you,
yes.
and really discussing, the appropriateness of the individual, so that we can make sure that they're getting what they really need, not just what we want them to get. So that's definitely key. And this is a little bit off of All Points North Lodge, but what I did think is super, super interesting about the fact that you did get married 45 days ago is that you really managed to get in right before COVID exploded.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I felt like
Yes.
you just got in under the wire. And what was that like for you? And how were you affected by that when you were not actually planning your wedding, but actually getting married?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was it was so surreal of an experience, just the wedding alone. But I think it was declared a national emergency on March 12th, I think it was. And I was getting married March 14th, so 2 days later. And I really felt like I was somewhat in a bubble. And I think my loved ones did that purposely, especially my bridesmaids, so I wouldn't like freak out
Right.
over, the possible just the fear of it all,
Mhm.
But the wedding itself was actually marvelous. We did have several family members who weren't able to make it, which we fully supported that decision. We wanted everyone to stay safe above all else. But yeah, my husband and I, we just sort of allowed ourselves to get caught up in the moment and just have a great night, a great evening with everybody. I have never felt so just wrapped in love and just overwhelmed by it, really. So it was, yeah, I'm just so grateful to have had that experience to really kickstart our marriage. And my hearts go out to so many people. My cousins were getting married the weekend after, and we were supposed to go to their wedding. We weren't able to anymore because parties were also banned at certain number of people. So I feel just so fortunate to have
Right.
even gotten married. And then my husband and I, we still went on our honeymoon to Hawaii after. I don't know what we were thinking other than, yeah, let's just do it. We're
Mhm.
young and healthy enough. So yeah, we went on our honeymoon still, and we happened to just be staying at like a really remote area on the Volcano National Park. Um, so we were away from people, we were completely isolated, and we got back also just in time before they like shut down all of like the travel restrictions and everything. So yeah, it just worked out so perfectly.
Yeah, that's what. So Keith is asking what it's like to be quarantined as newlyweds, and I would have to say, so not that I'm a newlywed. You're only 45 days, but my son has been married for a year and a half, and they're quarantined, and I feel like they're so happy. Like they're, just like the two of them locked up in their house. They're both working, and I feel like they're still happy after, however many days. So how has it been? Have you just been secluded from family, or are you nearby your families?
We are completely secluded from family, from friends. My husband does work at the hospital, so we have to be even just more aware of contact with other people right now. So it is just me and him and me. And it's a good thing we love each other because it is a
Right.
lot of time together.
Yeah.
But we've been having a lot of fun. I mean, we got so many different like cooking gadgets from our wedding, all these different appliances. So we've been, some of those quarantine life people of suddenly we're baking bread and making things that we would never make before. And my husband loves it. He's a great cook. So yeah, we're just
Yeah.
having fun with it.
And he seems like such a nice guy, because I know he came out with you in December, so I got to meet him momentarily, which was really
Yeah.
nice. But
Yeah.
yeah, we've been married for over 41 years, and we are, well, my husband's at his office today doing telehealth, like nobody else is in his office. But yeah, I feel like, thank God I love him, because this
Yeah.
is crazy stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
just like a little bit starting to lose my mind and ready to kind of run out to Colorado and spend some time out there. But
Yeah.
it was such a pleasure getting to talk with you today. I love working with you. I'm so happy to see your face.
You too,
Um,
Laurie.
and thank you for accepting my invitation to do this. You're such a good sport.
Yeah, thank you for chatting with me. This is actually quite lovely. And I have to say, so I had told my husband after we spent some time at the summit in Colorado that we had right not too long ago, where your husband, Dr. Watter, spoke. Of course, I was raving about it to my husband. I was like, you have to hear the way he connected existential to sex and just all these things that I was just, yeah, going on about it. But so I had told him about your love story, though, how the two of you met at summer camp when you were super young. And I
I
was like, if
know.
only we could still be as in love as they are,
You will.
years, decades down the line. Yeah, we would
You
only
will.
be so lucky.
Well, thank you. I'll
Um,
have to make him watch this now so he can hear that.
yeah, please do.
I will.
All
Take
right,
good
Laurie.
care. Congratulations
Bye.
again. Bye.